Bersatu Tanjung PI chief candidate for by-election. Court frees woman in JB teen cycling tragedy. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Adrian Seat. Pakatan Harapan or PH has announced Tanjung PI Bersatu Division Chief Karmin Sardini, 66, as its candidate for the Tanjung PI by-election on the 16th of November. Now, the announcement was made by Johor PH Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin at the launch of the PH by-election machinery today. Meanwhile, Gerakan will announce its candidate for the Tanjung PI parliamentary by-election in Kuala Lumpur tomorrow, according to its president, Datuk Dr. Dominic Lau Ho Chai. Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is also president of Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia or Bersatu, said although there are many eligible candidates for the seat, Karmin was chosen as a candidate as he met PH's criteria.
Saya ini adalah banyak kelebihan dan faedah. Jadi secara mudah dan logik. Jadi kalau pilih pembangkang, pembangkang tak mungkin boleh membantu sebanyak mana yang boleh dibuat oleh bagi rakyat daripada Pakatan Harapan.
Speaking to reporters, he said Karmin possesses the criteria which the leadership wants to continue in the struggle of the late Dato' Dr. Mat Farid Mat Rafiq in Tanjung PI, as a constituency needs development in terms of economy, social, education and other aspects. The business person is a Pontian native and is a well-known local religious figure and has served as an imam for the Al-Mutakin Mosque in Johor Bahru and is also Johor Bersatu's Religious Bureau chairperson.
Saya rasa ini satu amanah lah yang saya perlu laksanakan dan insyaAllah saya akan melakukan amanah yang diberikan sampai mungkin lah. Sejajar dengan arahan parti bahawa kita nak memastikan jentera kita akan bergerak sebagaimana yang telah arahkan dan mudah-mudahan akan menangani rakyat untuk terus memberikan sokongan Pakatan Harapan.
The by-election was triggered after its MP, Dr. Mat Farid Mat Rafiq, 42, died of heart complications on the 21st of September. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail wants the rakyat to change their mindset if they want to avoid the risk of floods or other disasters around their homes and residential areas. Now, she said natural disasters cannot be avoided, but its impact could be reduced if the people are more aware about the need for a proper waste management and cleanliness attitude. Now, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah said the nation's facilities and infrastructure might be first class, but the people's mentality is certainly third class when it comes to disposing of rubbish correctly.
Kita ni menghadapi benda ni tak tahun. Jadi ini adalah salah satu sikap yang kita perlu ubah. Ini akan mengambil masa yang panjang. Itu salah satu daripada macam mana lah kita nak sampaikan, nak memberikan macam pencerahan kepada semua. Supaya kadang bila tak kena tu kita tak perasa. Bila kena tak alam, masa tu kita ingat, lepas tu kita lupa balik.
The Deputy Prime Minister said this after visiting the Disaster Supplies Depot at Complex Penyayang in Kuantan, Pahang. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah said she is satisfied with the National Disaster Management Agency on NADMA's level of preparedness and also pointed out that 429 high-risk flood zones have been identified in the state. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, as many as 7,174 officers and personnel from the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Fire and Rescue Department, the police, the Civil Defence Force, as well as the Social Welfare Department are ready on standby to deal with flooding incidents. She added that assets including 171 types of boats and 429 vehicles are ready for use, while 245 locations have been prepared for helicopter landings that may be inaccessible by land during floods. She also said that essential supplies and dry items have also been sent to 118 relief centres since April, adding that the government has allocated 1 million ringgit for supplies and 2 million ringgit for dry items. The Sungai Kelantan Integrated River Basin Development Project, or PLSB, worth 572 million ringgit, is expected to overcome the state's flooding issue. It is also expected to control the quality of river water in Kuantan town, as well as its surrounding areas. The project, which was approved under the 11th Malaysia Plan, also got the attention of Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Dr. Wan Ismail. She spent about 40 minutes visiting the preparation ahead of the northeast monsoon in Pahang, as well as Sungai Belat Flood Mitigation Plan in Sungai Belat in Kuantan. The Sungai Belat Plan was part of the Kuantan Flood Mitigation Plan, which would provide flood protection to 350,000 people. The Sungai Kuantan PLSB involves 4 packages, which includes upgrading Sungai Belat and constructing flood prevention structures, which is currently at the construction stage and expected to be completed in January of 2021. While the second package involves construction flood prevention bunds along Sungai Pandan and Sungai Kuantan in Bukit Rangging. The third package involves construction flood prevention bunds in Sungai Kuantan and upgrading the existing bund in Kampung Sungai Isap. The last package involves the deepening of Sungai Kuantan from the river mouth to Kobat Dam in Kuantan. The number of flood evacuees in Johor, Kedah, Perak and Selangor rose to 1,954 from 567 families as at 4 p.m. today, compared to 1,676 from 466 families at 8 a.m. Now, according to the National Disaster Management Agency on NADMA website, as at 4 p.m. today in Johor, 478 evacuees from 116 families are being housed at 10 relief centres in Batu Pahat, Johor Bahru, Kulai Jaya, Kluang and Pontian. In Perak, the number of evacuees rose to 501 from 122 families. They are being accommodated at 5 relief centres. In Kedah, 61 evacuees are being housed at 2 relief centres in Kulim and Pendang. Meanwhile, the number of evacuees in Kuala Selangor was at 826 from 265 families, and Seberang Perai Pulau Pinang has 88 victims from 25 families as at 4 p.m. The Johor Bahru Magistrates Court has freed a saleswoman from a charge of reckless driving which caused the death of 8 teenage cyclists on the 18th of February of 2017. Magistrate Siti Haja Ali ordered the release of Sam Kerting, 24, without having her called to the stand after finding the prosecution had failed to prove a prima facie case. In her judgment, Magistrate Siti Haja said investigations found that Sam was not under the influence of alcohol, was not using her phone and wore a seatbelt while driving, proving that the accused was driving responsibly and carefully. She said the court took into consideration several factors, namely that it was a dark, hilly and winding road where the driver could not foresee there would be a bicycle gang on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning. The magistrate added that the bicycle gang had put themselves in danger. 46 witnesses testified in the case and 214 exhibits were presented in court. Magistrate Siti Haja also ordered the bail money of 10,000 ringgit and Sam's driving license, which was suspended since the 28th of March of 2017, to be returned immediately. Kelantan Police will hand over the investigation of a Malaysian man found dead with multiple gunshot wounds in Sungai Golok, Naratiwat, southern Thailand to the Thailand Police. Now, Kelantan Police Chief Dato' Hasanuddin Hassan said as of now they have not received any updates related to the incident.
Setakat ni belum lagi. Mungkin pihak negara jiran tanya dia berhubung ikut atas ni. Wisma dia dengan wisma kita mungkin lah kan. Tak. Pasal berlaku di sebelah negara sana. Walaupun rakyat sini tapi berlaku di sana.
He said this at a press conference in the police headquarters in Jeli. It was reported that a Malaysian was found dead with multiple gunshot wounds in front of a cemetery in Sungai Golok, Naratiwat, southern Thailand, early yesterday morning. The victim was identified as Muhammad Faisal, 28, from Rantau Panjang, Kelantan. He was believed to have been shot dead after a fight with a group of men. According to Sungai Golok Police Station, Investigation Division Assistant Chief of Police, Captain Jaturon Trongkliang, 5 shots were fired from a short distance at the victim's head, face, chest and legs. 2 orang asli youths were killed after the car they were in was involved in a 4-vehicle collision at Kilometer 6 Jalan Jerantut Maran last night. In the 10:10 p.m. tragedy, the victims Radin Apu, 25, from Kampung Orang Asli, Terbol, Jerantut, who was driving the car, and his passenger, 33-year-old Ahmad Bustamam Fauzi, from Kampung Orang Asli, Sungai Kol, also in Jerantut, died on the spot due to severe injuries. Jerantut Police Chief Superintendent Mazlan Hassan said, apart from the Proton Iswara belonging to the victims, the accident also involved a Toyota Hilux 4-wheel drive, a Proton Wira aerobag and a Honda X5 motorcycle. 5 others suffered injuries while the rest were unhurt. It was believed that the Toyota Hilux had entered the opposite lane, causing the Proton Wira to swerve to the left but failed to avoid the crash. Due to the impact, the Hilux spun and crashed onto the Iswara and a motorbike which were behind the Wira. The Hilux driver, who was unhurt, has been detained by police to facilitate investigations. He tested negative for drugs. The case is now investigated under Section 41, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987. In another incident, a car salesman was believed to have drowned after he was seen jumping off the Sultan Yahya Petra Bridge off Sungai Kelantan, Kota Baru early this morning. Road users who witnessed the suicide attempt immediately reported the incident to the Fire and Rescue Department. The 42-year-old man, identified as Bisrafel Bijuri, had reportedly been suffering from depression and had been taking medication and seeking treatment at a hospital. State Fire and Rescue Operations Chief Muhammad Farid Ismail said the search and rescue is still ongoing despite its personnel having to face strong currents. The remains of film director Muhammad Firdaus Muhammad Hanif were laid to rest at the AU2 Muslim Cemetery in Keramat early this morning at about 2 a.m. Muhammad Firdaus, 43, or Pit, as he was more affectionately known as to family and friends, drowned in Sungai Jalai during a fishing trip in Pahang. Muhammad Firdaus's body was found in Sungai Jalai, Kampung Mela in Lipis by a search and rescue team at 4:25 p.m. yesterday. The son of actress and theatre activist Fauzia Nawi, Pitt leaves behind his wife Farah Ahmad, 42, and 3 children between the ages of 7 and 16. Earlier, his remains were taken to Fauzia's home in Taman Melati, Setapak from the Kuala Lipis hospital at midnight. More than 300 family members and friends were present to pay their last respects and to accompany his body to the cemetery. Amongst those in attendance were Datuk Rosham Nur, Faisal Hussein, K. Rahman, Rita Ridwani, Azhan Rani, Shafi Naswib, Fasha Sanda, Sharifa Amani and Zahiril Adzim. In other news, Yang diPertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah was conferred the Darjah Kerabat Baginda Tuanku Sai Putra Jamulalail or DK today. Now, the award was in conjunction with the 76th birthday celebrations of Raja Perlis Tuanku Sai Sirajuddin Tuanku Sai Putra Jamulalail on the 12th of October. The award was conferred by Tuanku Said Sirajuddin to the Yang diPertuan Agong at a ceremony held at Istana Negara. Earlier, Tuanku Said Sirajuddin and Raja Perempuan Perlis, Tuanku Tengku Fauzia Tengku Abdul Rashid, arrived at Istana Negara at 11:45 a.m. and were greeted by Sultan Abdullah and Raja Permaisuri Agong, Tunku Haja Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria. After the ceremony, the Majesties attended lunch with Tuanku Said Sirajuddin and Tengku Fauzia. On the 12th of October, the declaration of the award was made before Tuanku Said Sirajuddin, who handed the state awards and medals to 19 recipients in a ceremony which took place at Istana Arau. Coming up next, credit ratings reaffirmation, the best answer to critics. That story out next. Stay with us. Welcome back. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said Malaysia's reaffirmation of its sovereign credit rating is the best answer to critics that the present government does not know how to manage the economy or has increased government debt excessively. Now, he said in a statement that successful institutional reforms have resulted in Malaysia improving its ranking in the World Bank's ease of doing business to 12 in 2020 from 15th in 2019. Lim said Malaysia is also amongst the best improved economies in the World Bank's 2018 Worldwide Governance Indicators published earlier this month, which is a strong credit positive in the evaluation of sovereign credit ratings. The World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index is a measure of business regulations and its implementation in 190 countries. Malaysia's scores in the 2020 Ease of Doing Business Index rose by 0.2 points, allowing the country to climb 3 places to 12 in 2020 from 15th in 2019. This is Malaysia's best ranking since 2015. Now, according to Lim, the rise was contributed by regulatory reforms that made starting a business and dealing with construction permits easier. Meanwhile, Malaysia also became the 4th easiest place to do business in Asia after Singapore, Hong Kong and South Korea, an improvement from the previous year when Malaysia was ranked 5th. As such, Lim assured that the government remains committed to implementing its institutional reforms while supporting economic growth, in line with the overall Shared Prosperity Vision 2030. The habit of wanting to share personal data or commercial transactions amongst internet users and social media sites needs to be changed. Now, the massive influx of personal information available online has put users' privacy at great risk, as it could invite unwanted people to take advantage of such information. Director General of Personal Data Protection Department under the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, Mas Malik Mohamad, said the department would be briefing issues related to this matter to more than 900 managers and assistant managers of the Malaysian Internet Centre and the Rural Internet Centre nationwide. This is important, especially as the government is in the midst of spearheading digital e-economic and e-commerce to facilitate entrepreneurs, including those in the rural areas.
Cuma saya di peringkat saya sini, saya terpaksa memaklumkan juga pada pengurus-pengurus PIM ni dan PID ni supaya kita boleh membantu pihak kerajaan untuk mengurangkan isu-isu scam ni. Kalau kita jelaskan pada mereka, kalau ada orang mengaku, contohnya lah, ada orang mengaku dia daripada SPRM, dia mengaku daripada dia polis untuk dapatkan maklumat peribadi kita, kita akan katakan apa nak buat, kan? Saya kata senang je, jangan layan, tutup, matikan conversation tu, matikan perbualan tersebut. Jadi benda-benda beginilah yang kita akan kongsi dengan pengurus-pengurus ini.
He spoke to RTM after opening a briefing on personal data protection at TM Malaysia headquarters, Kedah Perlis in Alor Star. And our sports segment concludes this evening's edition of News On 2. In our top story, Bersatu Tanjung PI Chief candidate for by-election. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more news updates. Until then, I'm Adrian Seed. Thanks for watching.